I wish someone has told me these 7 revealing lessons 10 years ago, because it would save me a bunch of time and effort. Thus, in this video, I share the 7 most important lessons that I learned in the last 10 years while studying foreign languages on my own. No one can teach you the language, you have to do the work by yourself. One of the most important things that I learned throughout 10 years experience is that school matters, but at the end of the day, you have to do the work. You are the most responsible person in order to master the language. Even though a bunch of schools provide an excellent education regarding foreign languages, and there are teachers and tutors that can help you understand the language, understand grammar, you are the most important factor when it comes to learning a foreign language. No matter how good the classes in foreign language are, you have to do the extra work. You have to be the one that is inspired by the foreign language, that is inspired to learn more, to practice, to find information about the language that are not provided in the classes. I believe that tutors and teachers are really important in this initial phase. When you are starting a new language, they can provide you the most important input on your journey towards mastering that particular language. After reaching this initial basic knowledge in the foreign language, I would say that the importance of your factor on the result of mastering of the language is gradually increasing. So after you reach this intermediate level, your effort and personal involvement in the language would be much more important than help of the experts in the language. Something that I can personally confirm is that more you study languages, more you are able to master languages. Having the experience with foreign languages, 2 or 3 or more, will give you a positive incentive and a good basis towards mastering other languages as well. Not only that pronunciation, vocabulary, grammatical structures become much easier when you already know some of the rules in 2 or 3 languages, but on the other hand, you take so many benefits of having a structured method towards learning a foreign language. So when you start learning foreign languages on your own, the first thing you should have is the plan and the method that you will practice towards reaching a certain level of proficiency in the target language. Something that I was talking about in this video, so check it out later. When we put aside the method that every language learner has to have, on the other hand, we have habits that you need to create in order to reach a certain level of proficiency in the target language. So whether this is reading, watching movies, studying grammar or something else, you need to create good habits that you will practice in the long term in order to get to the desired level of proficiency in your target language. Something that is worth mentioning is that experience with foreign languages gives you this space for a creative mind and solving problems that might occur while studying some of the languages that in a way have different forms, different structures, different grammar than those that you have already mastered, or the languages in which you already have certain level of proficiency. One of the most revealing and inspiring lessons that I learned is that you can literally learn and master a foreign language in any period of your life. This is something that I was often confused in the past, since I thought that only kids can really master a foreign language, but fortunately you can master a language at any period of time, and I'm literally the living example of that fact, because all the languages that I currently speak I started developing in my 20s. Even though it is put very often that kids are better at learning languages than adults. Some of the research that I read say just the opposite, because of the experience of the adults and knowledge in a vast variety of areas of life can help them in order to reach certain level of proficiency in the language and understand the language better than kids. The only thing that is a huge advantage for kids over adults is that their mind is, under quotation mark, empty, and there is a bunch of free space in their brains, so they are collecting information much faster than adults. On the other hand, the adults have a bunch of knowledge, and these new forms of memory could be easily linked with the memory that already exists in their brains. It is proven that humans are learning better when they are playing, and this is a huge advantage of kids because they are playing all the time and they are learning much faster in this way. So if you use the methods that kids use in their everyday life, we can learn languages much faster. It took me a while to understand the following lesson, and that is, you don't have to master every language you learn. So this fact was really revealing for me when I really understood it. We all have different goals in foreign languages, and it doesn't have to be to master completely a foreign language. And one of the most important things before you decide to learn a foreign language is to have a concrete goal that you want to achieve in that language. So I understood that for some of the languages that I wanted to learn, such as Turkish, my goal was not to master the language. It was more like to be able to communicate on the street, to be able to order food in restaurant, to be able to come from the airport to hotel, to order the taxi, and all those small things in the language for which you don't need to have high level of proficiency in this language. In this way, you can divide your energy and spend most of your energy towards learning those languages in which you want to achieve the highest possible level of proficiency, and spend much less energy towards languages in which you want only to achieve a small level of proficiency, enough to book the taxi, to check in hotel, and understand the insignia on highway and similar things. Don't be afraid to give up on some of the languages that you have already started. There will always be languages in which you're better and those in which you're worse. And accepting this fact is a huge step towards becoming a language learner. I accepted this fact a couple of years ago when I started to learn German, and I figured out that this language is not for me. I simply cannot adapt to the requirements of this language, and I don't find it attractive anymore, so I just gave up on German. Maybe for 10 years I will go back to this language and try to become better in this language, but for now I put it aside and accept the fact that this language is not attractive to me anymore and that I simply failed learning this language. Learning languages is a constant work, so this is more a marathon than a sprint. You have to accept this lesson that I learned a long time ago, and if you agree to work a little in a long term, your results in a foreign language would be obvious. So if you want to start speaking the language, understand the context, understand the language, then you have to dedicate your time in a long run. Making time for learning languages requires planning and adapting your already existing habits and way of living towards achieving that goal and reaching this desired point in a foreign language. This doesn't mean that you have to learn a language 2 hours per day, but it definitely means that you have to spend some time with the language every day. Even though you enroll a certain course for the language that you want to learn, I would always recommend you to work every day on improving your skills in this use target language, even though the course is only like 2 classes per week. You should use this extra 5 days to spend some time and do fun things in the language. And this leads us to lesson number 7 that I consider as most important lesson that I learned while studying foreign languages, and that is language acquisition really works. Language acquisition is a natural process of getting better in languages through using of compelling and comprehensible input. Thus, I use language acquisition for improving my skills in foreign languages for years, and it was really a turning point in my language learning journey when I figured out that language acquisition really exists and that it really functions. If you want to learn how I use language acquisition in order to pass French Delft B2 exam, you can watch the video above. In this video you can see what were the effects of the language acquisition and methods that I use on the results that I had on Delft B2 exam. Hence, these were 7 lessons that I learned in the last 10 years that helped me immensely become a language enthusiast. So let me know which of those lessons do you like the most, and let me know if you have any questions or any suggestions for new videos. Don't forget to provide the support by liking the video and subscribing to the channel, and see you in some of the next videos. Bye!